all the way till you get to the church.
I wonder if that picks up on the recording.
You have to go.
Maybe, we'll see.
You have to go to church, buddy. It's Sunday.
Damn.
Sunday time.
Yes, sir. What is on the right side of the Crystal Sage Arena? There's like a ramp.
What is on the right of what?
The Crystal Sage boss fight arena. There's a ramp. Apparently it leads to nothing. Pointless. Therefore try sadness. He just falls over. I love the message system in this game. Alright.
Really is.
I just remember how to play the game. I'm sure I'll figure it out.
If you ever play the first one, you'll meet fucking literally a gigantic woman that everyone simped over back in the day.
Yeah, I know. I know.
They always had the
Dragon
they
Dragon
always
Girl.
had the message in front of her. Nope, different one actually.
Really?
Her mother, technically, the Dragon Girl.
I don't know where I got Twinkling Titanite from, but okay.
There's like literally just like she's like humongous and she's just sitting there with her chest in front of you, and so they always have the message.
Oh yeah. Isn't her name like Gwendolyn or something?
Guinevere.
Guinevere, that's it.
Gwendolyn is her little brother who everyone really has.
Oh, I got a great machete.
Great machete.
E.
You already have.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Yes. Now you have two. And
Cool.
You can give one to me, so I may
Sure.
have it.
You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough soul. Hey yo, Evangelist, come here, I'm gonna get you. No, don't shoot bugs at me, that's disgusting. Nice hit, idiot. Does she just sit there and throw bugs until I approach her?
Pretty much.
Damn, I really wanted her to come over here so I could get her with the leaping attack, but or whatever it's called.
Plunging attack. It's the best attack in the game.
Oh wow, that has a lot of range, huh?
So fun fact, it's just a video I watched recently I want to bring to your attention.
She has a lot of poise.
Someone beat Dark Souls 3 Pacifist.
Wait, what?
Dark Souls 3.
How? You have to kill the bosses, don't you?
Yes.
Alright.
Summon phantoms and essentially.
Yeah. I just got knocked on my ass.
And for the first boss, he had to use a glitch because there are no summons for you at X Gundyr. So he had to use a glitch and get the crystal lizard to come and beat the shit out of him.
That's hilarious.
Those two have friendly fire.
Ugh, that was rough. And the Evangelists. Angry. Oh, Herald armor. I might actually put that on. Looks really nice. Alright, it's equipment. Oh, yeah, here we go. Strike slash thrust. 2.7, this is 4.6, this is 3.7. Herald. Kind of worse. Better physical protection. But not really anything else. What about the dark? What's it called? The Fallen Knight. Here we go. Oh wow, this is just strictly better. Well, for the most part. This gives me more resistance to like elements or whatever, but I feel like I'm going to be getting punched most of the time, so I'm not going to have to worry about it too much. On night. I'll keep these on just because they give the most resistance. I look ridiculous. Oh boy. Just a knight in sweatpants.
Yes.
Love to see it. Where am I at? I see a little save icon. Oh, there's another bonfire. Oh, that was easy. Okay, cool. Is that it?
No.
This is the Cathedral of the Deep. Woo! I've heard about this place. So I can. Is this where I can summon you?
Are you actually like in the church?
I'm not. I'm at the bonfire in front of the church.
Well, that's not a church.
Well, shut the fuck up.
No, I cannot summon you. That's still solo. But if you look to the left of the bonfire, there'll be some goodies for you with that. I missed in my initial playthrough.
To the
Fun
left?
fact.
Oh, down here. Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I missed that completely my first.
Oh, that's an enemy. I thought that was a phantom. Like, you know how you can see guys like running around? Yo, chill out, bruh. Can you not?
There's actually a ring that makes you look like a white phantom that you can wear,
Mm.
and a spell that makes you partially invisible. There's a dude who I remember seeing old videos online of people using those in tandem, and it would just look like you. It would literally look
This dude is
exactly
so
like you were one
annoying.
of the phantoms. Yeah, you literally look you're exactly one of the
Oh my
white phantoms.
gosh, dude. I'm just too slow to fucking hit him. So obnoxious.
Gotta get good.
It's a fallen knight or some shit. If only I could parry with this fucking thing.
Oh hey, great Corvian scythe again.
I don't know.
Shame. Shame.
Oh good, another one of these guys. Okay. This up. Wait, no, parry! I did. No, oh, I messed it up. Alright, man. That's cool. Out of here. That parry did nothing. Jeez. Paladin's ashes. That seems important.
Ashes of Paladin. Yes.
What do they do?
They dooby-doo-doo. You can buy more items.
Oh,
From the
cool.
lady.
Oh, the ashes, right. You give those to... Okay. I forgot she wanted those. This pickle chin up here. This isn't who I was fighting. Oh, he came up from down there, didn't he? Okay, I thought I was fighting this guy. Hey there. What are you throw a knife at me? Oomst.
Whomstid.
Oh, this is like a full-on dude. This isn't even like a monster or anything. This is just a guy.
What? Who? Oh, fuck.
Oh, he broke my yard. Oh. Dude's outside the cathedral. It's just like a dude. Oh, that hit me, but I didn't hit you. Feels bad. That'll do it, though. Wait, no, you're alive. Okay. Thought you were dead. But you weren't.
Yes.
Not gonna lie. Not liking this club so far. It might be because I don't have enough strength to wield it. So it's not as good. Wait, no, I'm using the... Pretty sure I'm using the not so good one. The large club, yeah. The fuck?
Well, like, it's literally just moveset. You have to be... Yeah, like, that's the thing about strength builds. You have to be very mindful of the fact that you do not swing very fast at all.
It just didn't... I don't know. It didn't seem like it was doing that much damage to him either. Maybe it's just this enemy.
Some enemies are... You do a lot of blunt damage, and some enemies are weaker, or more...
Really?
Better against that, but, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah. But, you just gotta upgrade it more and you'll start swinging harder.
Yeah, fair enough.
The large weapons do objectively hit more than any
Oh, of course,
harder than any other thing. If they didn't, then that'd be, like...
Unfortunate. Awful. I switched to Vort's hammer real quick just to smack him. There we go. Yeah, that did it.
Smack.
Try a ranged battle. I do have a bow. How good are bows in this game? The dog.
They can be worthwhile, but they're not amazing. They're only amazing if you really want to like lead enemies to you. That way you can pick them off one at a time.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, they're shooting crossbows at me. Cause I kind of thought about it. Like, I think it'd be cool to use. I've never seen like a bow be used in this game. Hello, dog. Perish.
They perished.
Vort's hammer is actually kind of. All these dogs have arrows like riddling them, bruh. Am I fat rolling? Oh, I am. Shit.
Bad.
Bonk.
Become the bonk ghost.
At last. I am the bonking undead. No longer the ashen undead. Give me this large soul of an unknown traveler, you clown. Alright, hold on. Yeah, I'm fat rolling. Let me take off, oh fucking no, helmet. Fat rolling. Cringe. Oh, it's because I have the shield on too. That's what it is. Oh. I will switch to a slightly not as heavy hammer. So I'll almost switch this to a heavier hammer while I'm out. if I can just ride with the brigand stuff for today. There we go. I'm just not gonna ember until I get to the cathedral, so I don't waste any. There's no point, since this area is solo and whatnot. Oh, is there something down there? Oh. Oh! I don't think there is. I think this is... Yep, sorry, I killed the dog. Cool. Oh.
Oh,
Onward to Vikotori.
Vikotori.
Yes. There's a man with a crossbow. Wait, no, not a crossbow. A flaming... It's a torch. Carrying a torch. He's on fire! Hazama. Hazama. He's dead. Hazama. Why? Okay.
You've met the suicide bomber.
Praise the monstrosity, said the message. Indeed, I suppose. Some very awkwardly laid coffins. Free souls. Oh my. I think I can take them all out in one sweep. Yep. Except this guy who's significant. Who's slightly, not significantly tougher. Oh, an Estus shard. Oh. Boy, sure, I'm glad I just murdered those people for no reason. Am I going inside or am I going around the graveyard still?
You go inside the church.
Ew. Ew, creepy boys. I don't like them. They're slow moving and I feel like they're redeads and they'll do something if they grab me. Am I right? Also, do they infinitely spawn? Is that what's going on? Are they just immortal?
You
Okay.
should definitely turn back around from the graveyard and go back to the church. At least grab that bonfire.
Oh, is there a bonfire like right in there?
Yeah, literally.
Oh, okay. They're just kind of looking at me. Just chill. I think one of them just burped or something. Had some Dr. Pepper earlier. Whatever. Yoink. Are throwing knives good? I assume the answer is no.
They have a use.
Which is aggroing enemies, I suppose.
Yes. And if you ever have trouble during the Crystal Sage boss fight, a single one of those will take out his clones.
Oh yeah, good point. Didn't think about that. Knowledge. Boy howdy, there sure are a lot of candles in here. I bet it smells like wax, even though wax doesn't smell like anything.
Oh, you'll see wax.
Open up
You'll see
the door.
wax.
Can I dunk my head in wax?
Not here.
Damn. Is that in this game, or is that Bloodborne?
This is this game.
Oh, Pog. Okay, cool. Bonfire lit.
Pog, champ.
Yee! I'm gonna go burn this Estus shard real quick. And then I will ember up.
And you will have to give me a moment. I'm procuring stuff to help myself.
What are you getting? Stop cheating.
I'm just a little cheating.
Stop knowing things about this game.
Action 1, what this barren
Stuff of a fool.
I'll tell you the truth.
Oh, do I need to tell her where I found the ash at?
You can. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh yes, I see.
She'll be like, what a bitch boy.
Lofty dreams and this it must come from
Like,
one
literally.
which thou not.
Okay. You have Paladin's ashes.
Let this
So I hope these new heirs are content thee. Chuckles at me. So, is there any point in buying any of this stuff? I guess like the pine resin and all that for elemental effects?
Yeah, if you want to put a temporary elemental effect on your thing. Yeah, there's stuff there that's pretty much all useful.
What about like any like moss clumps or it's like status reduction?
Yes, actually, because moss clumps are how you disengage poison normally.
Life ring
You
and
get it by
void
eating moss.
Oh no.
Life ring's pretty nice.
Should I get
Man,
it?
do I hate dogs.
Yeah. I should probably. I have enough embers for now. Reduces poison and toxin cure status. Let me upgrade first, or see if I can upgrade at all. I give the Estus shard to Andre, right?
Huh?
Yeah, sorry. I was just trying to remember stuff. Estus shard! Yeah, pretty yourself. Get out of here. Alright, where's QT Fire GF at? There she is.
Welcome, host. Very well done.
I saw that. What was that? Okay. What is stamina again? Endurance. I'm actually gonna increase my vitality. Stamina or equip load, do you think? Probably stamina, right?
If you're having you sounded like earlier you're having problems with the equip load and you want to keep stuff equipped. It's
Too late.
stamina is pretty nice though.
Yeah. If I can get like an extra swing in, because the problem I'm having right now is I swing my hammer 3 times and I have 0 stamina, so if I have a little bit extra, then I can roll away if I need to. That's what I'm wanting to do. I'm actually kind of digging Vort's hammer. I was using it and it's like, it's alright. But I could also use the Great Hammer, although it just does objectively less damage than
Because you have
Vort's.
an upgrade though, isn't it? Well, okay.
No,
here's something to bear in
it's
mind.
the Great Club versus
something-
Vort's hammer. I was using the large club, not the Great Club.
Well, here's something to bear in mind. Different weapons require different upgrades.
Yeah,
Upgrade materials?
some stuff need like Twinkling Titanite or like Titanite chunks or blah blah blah.
Yeah, you need Titanite scales for boss weapon. For every single boss weapon in the game, you require Titanite scales.
Interesting.
And they only upgrade 5 times.
Alright.
But boss weapons are they're not objectively better anyway, but they're different. They always have something special about them, so.
Is Vort's hammer just the fact that it is ice?
Yes. And nothing, I don't think very many other weapons do ice damage in the game.
Crystal
besides the-
Sage's Rapier, that's so cool. Cast a cascade of small crystal soul masses from the sky. Cool.
Titanite
So, yeah.
scale is you get from the giant crystal lizards that want to destroy you.
Ah, okay, so say again what you were saying about Vort's hammer? What about it special?
Oh, like I said, it's a boss weapon, so it has
Yeah.
something different about it than other weapons. But Vort's hammer, I believe the only thing it has different about it is just innate cold damage.
Okay. Ember. I feel like I'm.
Which isn't fantastic, but,
I mean, it's
if
the
you
only
like that.
strength-based boss weapon, isn't it?
No, there's others.
Well,
There's
that I
plenty
have
others.
right now, I mean.
Yeah.
And I could also show item info. Oh yeah, it has that perseverance too. Oh wait, no, that wasn't very good. I forgot about that. Temporarily boost poise. I mean, Viewed with frost and causes frostbite. As you were talking, I got interrupted again, so I couldn't really hear what you were saying. But oh well. I have to go do something. I will be right back, and I will also remember to pause the recording this time. Hee hee hoo hoo. Pause the recording here. Main problems are, or at least that I have. I'm membered, by the way, if you want to put your subs down in the church. It's another anime sword fighter, right? And everyone's like, a notched whip. That's horrifying. People kind of tired of it. Being in Smash because they just, I don't know, they have a lot of them, Fire, that's really cool actually, I kind of like the whip. Are you sure it sucks?
Yes, it does.
Aww. Seems so cool. Anyway,
They might be better in this game than they were in previous, but like, in Dark Souls 1, it was physically unusable.
that's unfortunate. But yeah, so, I mean, it's a Japanese company, so obviously it's like anime is kind of, that style is everywhere, causes bleeding. Strike from her left to evade shields and deal stinging blow. A temporarily slow stamina recovery. The shackles of the bondage lay deep in the heart spot. Okay. Causing heavy bleeding. That sounds really cool. But anyway, yeah. That's my third anyway. Anime sword fighter. There's a lot of anime sword fighters in Smash. Because, they're all from primarily Japanese-made video games. So, naturally, that design is going to be pretty prominent. Throughout the games, so whatever, fine. Not that big a deal, but the problem is the DLC is just like, because they're not creative with their sword fighters, really. They get creative with the specials because they have to, and that's where they have sort of like the most creative freedom, is they can have like magical or special effects, but like it's just, I don't know. And this can be said for most of the characters in the game. the non-special moves are like fairly similar because they all have to perform a similar function. So a lot of the forward airs are just a swipe in front of you. It could go from top to down. They usually goes from top to down. It could be like a straight hit like Sephiroth's. It could just be like a poke, or just like a single hit as opposed to a swipe. So fair enough. But I think people are just tired of seeing swords because it's either you fight with your hands or you fight with your sword. That's really the two archetypes, which is fair again because that's how a lot of those games are, and making like magical movesets is still going to be more of the same, even if it is like magic jabs or magic forward airs. It's still like a swipe in front of you or whatever. So that side of the argument is kind of like, they have to be similar for balance sake. But just the principle of there being another anime sword fighter is just kind of annoying to people, and I'm kind of annoyed by it because I really did want to see some cooler characters. Me and Gabe and Brian and Angel were all sort of talking about it, and Brian, I don't know where he got this information from, but he said there was an account that hadn't been wrong about a Smash leak yet, and they said it was going to be like Doom Guy, Rayman, or a character from the dude from Ninja Gaiden. I'm like, that sounds plausible.
Ryu.
And then I was like, yeah, Ryu. I really didn't want Rayman in because he's just not a cool character. Like, I'm sorry, but Rayman games are just they're just like, neither is Mario, but that's the thing. There's a difference between putting characters in Smash and making them DLC. Like, these DLC characters have to have something special about them because they weren't included in the base game. And they just sort of set a precedent with the DLC characters having like gimmicks. And Pyra and Mithra's gimmick is that they can switch between Pyra and Mithra, and one of them hits really hard but is slow, and the other one is really fast but doesn't do a lot of damage. It's like, okay, but
Cool.
they already sort of did that in previous games with Zelda and Sheik. They could swap in between forms, and they didn't do it in the previous Smash iteration because they didn't want like multiple fighters in one. But they brought it back with Pokemon Trainer in Ultimate. Also, put your soap sign down, you absolute bastard.
Hold on. Christ.
SMH.
You must be patient.
I will hit you. But yeah, and it's like, it's cool, but it's already a thing. Like that's what Pokemon Trainer does. It has Squirtle for really fast interactions where you want to rack up damage, and then you can switch to Ivysaur for some like more control and pressure, and then Charizard just has the kill power. And more, he's just more of a threatening presence. So that's already kind of Pokemon Trainer's thing. And before they did that with Zelda and Sheik, like Zelda was from what I remember, I didn't play a lot of her in Brawl, but she had strong kill power, and did a lot of damage, but she wasn't necessarily fast, where she could switch into Sheik to rack up damage and get people to that kill percent. And it's just sort of like, we've already done that, that it's not a new thing. And they both have very similar moves. The only difference is they're faster or slower, aside from the specials, again, which they're their own thing. And as far as specials go, I'm actually pretty satisfied with the character. The pros of Mithra and Pyra and Smash, I think, are more Xenoblade representation, which I think is really cool because Xenoblade is a really popular series. And a lot of people have grown to love it, especially since I think they recently came out with a new game, but I'm not super sure. So that's totally fair, and I think what's up?
It was a remake of the original, yeah.
Was that what it was? Okay. But yeah, so there was a lot more people got introduced to it because of Smash, and a lot more people started enjoying it and really liking the game. And it's a good game, so I've heard. I haven't played it, but I think if it, like, I wouldn't go out of my way to play it, but if someone said, here, you want a copy of Xenoblade? Sure, I'd play it. It seems alright. But just, like, I don't know. It's bittersweet, I think, is what I'm trying to say. There's just the fact that it's just another sword fighty character, but the difference being is that one's heavy, one's light, and that's a good mix. I don't know. What were you saying?
Go ahead. I'll say
I think that the form switching mechanic, while it's not necessarily special and it's already been done before, it's kind of nice because I think that they realized when they were putting in another sword fighter that they really had to do something to it to make it not too bland, because from what you could see in the trailer, the forward air is the same as, like, the forward air, the down airs, they're the same, as any other sword fighter in the game, because there's only so much you can do with the sword. And while I think that, a lot of the characters do have swords, and it makes sense that there's so many sword fighters because there's so many popular sword-using characters in these video games that are, you know, big enough or popular enough to be introduced to Smash, that it only makes sense that there's so many sword fighters, and you can only do so much with the sword. But at the same time, there's sort of like, on the other side of the coin is, then why would you keep adding them? You know, there's a lot of video games out there. There's a lot of developers that would be more than willing to cooperate. I'm assuming, I don't really know what the process is like, but if I was an indie game dev and I was like, they would be like, you want to be in Smash? Like Shovel Knight, like I don't know why they made Shovel Knight an assist trophy. He was such a beloved character, and that game just was so insanely good, and everyone loved it. And then he's just an assist trophy, you know. I don't know. There had to be some sort of executive decision. Maybe he just wasn't like his source material. They just didn't have enough material for him to make him into a full character. Fine. But there's so many characters out there. Like when Terry was announced, nobody knew who he was, and he was really popular in South America, which is, you know, that's cool. I really like that, how they went for that sort of like a different audience, and not just, it kind of showed us that like Smash Bros isn't just for North American, you know, North Americans or Americans. That was cool, and I like that they went out of their way. It felt really sentimental and just super nice. But the point is, no one knew who he was, but he was still popular. At least here, no one knew who he was. So
there was a big online thing about it. I remember back a while ago when people were saying nobody even know who this guy is. Why is he in Smash?
Yeah, and that's why that's when Nintendo came out and they're like, he was really popular in South America. It's not all about you guys. And you know what? Fair enough. That's super cool. And when I heard that, I was like, you know what? That makes sense. I wasn't initially mad about it because I think fighting game characters in Smash are really cool. How they have, like, you can do different inputs to do different things, and it's a lot more dynamic than a normal Smash character would be. But unfortunately, not everyone felt that way. But I think a lot of attitudes changed once they sort of realized that it's not just America that plays Smash Bros. You know. But yeah. So my point here being, it doesn't have to be a super popular, well-known character to be introduced, and that sort of segues into, there is a lot of sword fighters, but there's also a lot of not sword fighters that you could pick and choose from, like Shovel Knight, who still would be using a metal weapon and would likely swing it in front of him and stuff. But it's funny. It's a shovel. It's haha.
It's different, you know.
Yeah,
I get that.
That's one thing I really, obviously Sephiroth's a bit different because Masamune is comically long sword. But they really did change his moveset a lot. His forward air, instead of being like a swipe in front of him, was a poke. But his up air is similar to, it's just bigger, sword fighter up air. His down air is like a dive, which is pretty much exclusive to the Links, or at least Toon Link now, which is interesting because they're like kind of sword fighters, but they're really varied. And that's another thing, is that it's, at least in the case of Link, you know, he has a bunch of tools that he uses in games, so you have a lot of source material there. So it's a lot easier to make his kit more varied. But with like strict sword fighters, there's only so much you can do. And I personally don't like that they keep adding them and trying really hard to make them unique. And I think that's a good thing, but I think that effort would be better spent looking for other characters with more diverse source material and kits that you could use, as opposed to just adding another sword fighter and then trying to make it distinct by adding specials. I'd just rather see characters with more unique powers than sword, and you can switch in this case for DLC. And they did that really well with Sephiroth, where none of his special moves are using his sword, except for his recovery, which, whatever. He has that little, like, I don't want to call it a damage over time, more like a damage after time. He puts that little thing on you, and that's a really unique way of applying pressure to your opponent, because it's going to detonate, and so you know they're going to have to react, and you can predict how they're going to react and punish that. And then he just has a big bomb that he throws, and his counter was cool. And that's another thing, is that she has a counter, and counters are just so obnoxious in Smash Bros. I hate them so much. That opinion is not shared by everybody, but I personally just despise counters. I think they're just really dumb, and it punishes you for playing the game. And you could say about that, you could say that about any move. It's like, oh, you just press a button and you kill the opponent. It's like, yes, but the responsibility lies on you to hit the move to kill your opponent, as opposed to the opponent hitting you to kill them, which is just dumb. So that's another thing I wasn't super cool about. But at least Sephiroth's counter, number one, you can break it. If the hit is strong enough, it won't hit him, but it will prevent him from. But it will like put him in lag, and if you break it, you don't get hurt back. As to any other character, you could literally hit them with the strongest move in the game that would instantly kill them at any percent, and then you die. And also,
Yeah.
it only faces one direction. If you hit him from behind, he won't counter you. You have to hit like the shield that he puts up, which is cool, and I think it makes sense because if you're not facing where you're getting hit by, how are you going to counter the move without completely
It's
spinning
like
around?
some.
That was a
I
bit
get
of a
it, yeah.
tangent, but yeah, man, I think that Xenoblade is cool. What I was saying about the form switching, it has been done before, but I think that's a really nice take that they did with the sword kind of aspect of it, because they sort of put in a heavy sword fighter that has like a good range but really slow moves and is easy to punish with the fast one, so it doesn't feel like you're just playing another sword fighter because you have that versatility. Not that
Yeah.
a lot of sword fighters aren't versatile. Most of them are like really good and have good coverage, good pressure, etc, simply because they have a sword that you can't hit but can hit you. But specifically her, because she's not locked into a specific playstyle, at least not in the sense that most other characters are. Like obviously you are going to see a lot of people playing as Mithra, who's really fast to rack up damage, and then going for the kill as Pyra. But you could still, there's still opportunity for mix-up, and you're not locked into a light character or a heavy character playstyle. So in that way, it's more diverse than other sword fighters, just because you don't have to be like super sweaty, try-hard Marthmain that nairs at you 15 times, or you're not locked into like being Ike who just nair up airs for the entire match until you die, or you hit his shield and he up Bs you. But yeah, man, there's a lot wrong. I shouldn't say wrong. There's a lot I don't like about Mithra being in Smash, but I think that her being Xenoblade is okay. The form switching, it's already been done, but I think it's a welcome addition to a sword fighter if it has to be a sword fighter. Counters are dumb, but I think her moves look cool enough that it's like you can sort of overlook her pretty stagnant like sword fighter basic moveset that they more or less have to have. But I don't know. I think that they took her in an interesting direction, but at the end of the day, she's still a sword fighter, and that's just. Anyway, this has been 10 minutes of me talking about a Smash character running in circles in a church. I'm gonna end the episode here and start a new one once you join me.